In this video, let's take a look at the materials that's available for us inside of Revit. And in order to do this, you can go to Manage, and there is this disco ball kind of like icon. If you click on it, it's called Materials. So if you click on it, it shows you all of the materials that you have here. Now, sometimes what you see is this exclamation point and with a orange colored edge, and if you hover over it, it's gonna say, for improved rendering, replace the current appearance asset in this material with a newer version. And what that really means is sometimes Revit thinks that there might be a newer asset that you can use for this particular material, but really it doesn't really matter. That's the bottom line that you need to be aware of. Like, it doesn't really matter if you see this icon. It's not gonna affect your project in any way. So sometimes you might have a newer asset and you can't find it. So that's fine. That's quite okay. You can just leave it as it is, or you can there are some online tutorials that you can follow. If this really bothers you that much, you can remove it using a certain way as well. So anyways, when you open your material browser, you will see all the material that's available to you inside of Revit. So you have a few stained birches, you have a mosaic tile, a porcelain tile, and you have other types of paint here. There are different materials that you can use in your project. These are the ones that are available to you that came with the template that we used. And if you remember, we use this architectural template, and these are the material that you get in that particular template. And depending on whatever other template that you use, these might be different. Like, especially if you have your company's template available, they might already include the material that they are more comfortable using. Apart from these, there are other materials that you can add as well. If you click on this this button here, it opens up an asset browser. So these are all the assets that's available to you. You can double click on these, and you can use them in your project. Now, before we talk about the asset browser, we need to basically talk about what an asset is. So to do this, I'm going to go in and take a look at one of these materials that we have. So let's take this carpet material that we have, and if you go in here, you get a few pieces of information. You have three tabs here. The first tab, it gives you the information about the name, the description. You can have manufacturer details, including a URL. And if you go to the graphics tab, it shows you how the drawing is made. So for example, the surface pattern, when you look at it on the plan view, how is it gonna appear? This is the appearance that you have. You can change all of this if you want to. You can change those as well. And if you cut this particular carpet, like if you cut the material, this is what you can see right now. Really, for this particular material, you don't get any cut because it's just going to be kind of like a surface. But if you go to a brick material like these ones, you see the surface material is going to be this. When you cut it in a section, you're going to see this cut pattern, right? And the color is going to be this way. If you go into the appearance, it shows you the texture that's going to show up when you render your image, or even in this particular view, you can see that this is the brick that we're seeing, right? So you can do that as well. You can look at how it's going to show up in your rendered versions, or even in this mode that we're in. Let me go back in. So right now we're in this realistic mode, and that's why we're seeing this, right? So if we go to shaded mode, this is what we're gonna see. If we're gonna go with consistent colors, that's what you're gonna see. Hidden line, you're just gonna see the texture, and that's what we saw previously in the tab. In the wireframe, you're not gonna see anything. Let's go back to the realistic view, and I'm gonna go back to the materials dialog box. Let's go to where we found the brick. So this is the brick that we were looking at. So we have the brick, and there are other areas like the relief pattern, how you see the indentation on the surface of the brick wall. Now, sometimes it takes a while to load the thumbnails, and that's why you're not seeing thumbnails here. Then you also get like physical properties and thermal properties like R values and such. All of those are going to be included in this particular section, and these tabs might change depending on the type of material that you've selected. Right now we are in brick common. If I go and select the carpet, you see there are those two tabs, the physical and the thermal properties tab. Those are missing right now. We just had the identity, graphics and appearance. So depending on the type of material, now this is wrong, so it's saying it's updating. There's an issue with my Revit, I'm assuming, that it's not showing up properly, but that's fine. But what I was saying was, depending on the material, you'll see different tabs, you'll see different types of tabs, a different number of tabs and such. So, and the other thing that we want to talk about is how a material is created. Now the material, think about a material like the carpet material that we have as a tin, like a tin can, right? So this is the tin can, and into the tin can we can add assets. These assets change the way that the tin can works, right? So you can have a tin and you can change the asset around. You can have the carpet material, which is the tin, and you can add an asset like what you see here. You can change it out, right? Now when you're talking about assets, this hand symbol becomes important. It shows you that this asset is not being shared with anyone else. It says the asset is being shared by no one else. It's just for this particular material. So for now, just think about that, and when we go into creating materials, you'll begin to understand more how materials are different from assets. And previously what we saw was you can go here, and these are all assets, so you can basically bring this in, replace the current asset in the editor with this asset. So if I click on this, it replaces this carpet material. If I click on this, it's gonna change into this brown colored asset. So I'm not going to do that because we just need our carpet material here. I'm not going to change the carpet material, but in a later video we'll be talking about how to create new materials, going through the textbook that we have. So for now, that's all you need to know. So in the next video, let's take a look at how to create different materials.